Hey, Great Figure Man here, and I've got something a little bit different today, not Dragon Ball or anything like that, but Jujutsu Kaisen. Yuji Itadori figure just released today in Japan, and yeah, I was out and about. Well, I kind of been thinking about getting him for a while since I keep seeing him online, a lot of people talking about him, and I thought a lot of people might want to have a closer look at the retail release, so I went out for a walk this morning and picked him up since I saw him in shop for a good price. As usual with all the Tamashii figures. Actually, if you are new to the series, the line of Tamashii Figuarts from the series, one thing to keep an eye out for is the Tamashii Nation's quality seal. This is on every figure and product released by them these days, and it's their way of showing that it is a legitimate figure. So it's worthwhile keeping an eye out for that if you are after one of these, especially from a second-hand marketplace. The figure itself is all pretty straightforward, standard, pretty small box. He doesn't have too much in the way of accessories or anything like that since he is a retail release figure. But let's pop him open and see what he does come with. Okay, so here he goes outside of this box. Inside the box we do also have an instruction manual. So if it is your first time picking up a S.H Figuarts figure, no need to be worried or anything like that about how to change parts, because inside you got a full detailed instruction on where to take the parts off, their movement and articulation, and there is also English on here as well. So if it's your first time picking up a Figuarts, don't worry, easy to use, easy to change parts and easy to pose. Okay, so before we take him actually out of the place, let's go through what he does come with. So you've got the main body, and you've got 2 extra faces for Yuji Itadori, and also you've got one for Skinner. And same with the hand here, you got one additional hand with the tongue poking out where he eats one of the fingers and so forth. And you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 extra hands down below, so you can switch out for different poses. And then on top of that you've got the effects here. This is for when using his cursed energy to do his impactful punches, so that's pretty cool. So we'll get a close look at that in a moment. And then also at the very top here there's a different piece of hair, which I assume you probably use when you switch out the face here. Okay, so we've got him out of his packaging now, but before we get into posing and getting a closer look, I want to point out, in case this is your first time ever picking up a Figuarts figure, brand new ones, they often come with a piece of plastic film in between the chest and waist area where you get the articulation. Sometimes you might find it around the legs, hips as well. So before you use them, do pop those out. And again, if you're looking at picking up one of these second hand and it says it's brand new unopened, you can have a look and make sure that this is still attached. If it is, then you know it's going to be new untouched. Okay, so to take it off, all you have to do is kind of wiggle the chest a little bit, find the tab, and you kind of just slide it out. There we go, so that's come out. Now that's what that has done, it's kind of protected the paint and the joint while in transportation and in the box. Okay, let's take a closer look at him now. The lower part of his torso here is actually a soft rubber material, so that's quite nice. That means when you do pose him and move his legs, it will move a little bit and it won't restrict you too much when posing. The joints feel really nice and smooth to go around, let this spools easily. Definitely got a decent amount of posability and range in his joints, which is really nice. Can't quite do the splits, but pretty good, especially compared to the Dragon Ball figures. It's basically on par with those. But the knee joints seem really good. You can go all the way out, which is cool. One thing I must say, the detailing on the shoes look really cool. You got all the laces and straps all on there. And down around the side, got the nice leather look on the shoes, which is really cool. Okay, now for the... Let's let it go. His head moves around really well, got a nice range there. Can kind of get the tilt on, which is cool. And, oh, but an exorcist moment there, kind of suits the series. Okay, now that we've had a look at the posability, let's take out the effects and chuck them on and see what they look like. It looks really decently thin plastic, and I believe these just pop on. Okay, yeah, that was easy. That just slots on over the fists and it stays on pretty well actually. Okay, so we've got Yuji now in a simple pose with the effects on. It's looking awesome, but it's not quite right, eh? The face, he needs to be screaming, he needs to get some more action there, so let's pop that face off. And to do that, we've got the face here with it screaming, and to put this on, all we have to do is get a nice grip on the body, grab on the head, and without too much force, you should be able to just pop that off. There we go, so the head's off now. It should be easy to change the parts. Often you don't need to take the head off, but if you were going to switch out to one of the other heads, that's how you want to do it. And then all we have to do is, hopefully you can see this well, pop his bangs, his sort of forehair off, and then you've got access to the face part. And you just have to give it a bit of a wiggle. That pops off. And there's 1, 2 peg holes and 2 pegs on the face. Line them up, push them in, slide the hair back on, and there you go. You got one complete head with screaming face. And then all you do, line up the ball joint from the neck with the one underneath the head. Kind of line it up and push down, you should feel it just pop on. And now, get him back into a simple pose. Now doesn't that look a lot better? Okay, now, so this really completes the look of him charged up with his charged up fists and the screaming face. He's about ready to kick some ass. Alright, so let's switch over the effects now with the extra hand he comes and with the schooner face and take a look. Okay, so I switched out the face, hands, and also the hair. I realised when I was switching out onto the schooner face that the extra bangs was for when you use this face because it's got that swooped up look. And it looks really cool. The hand, I haven't actually read the manga, so I'm not sure when this whole hand comes into play, but I feel like it really fits in with this face. So that's why I put it on. It looks really cool. The detailing in here, you got little wee teeth, little wee tongue that's got a glossy paint on it, so it looks like it's a pretty moist, wet tongue. And he's got the other hand up here, so sort of an open grip, like he's going to grab someone's soul or something. Overall, looks really cool. The detailing on the face is really good as well. Let's bring it in and get a closer look, actually. Okay, so here goes his face. A bit of a closer look. You can see all the tattoo lines. Actually, not really tattoo. The markings on his face is really clear, crisp. You can even see a little wee tiny pupil in the side eye, which is really cool. The detailing on his eyes is really good as well. There's a real tiny, fine black dot for his pupil in the middle of his red eyes there as well. And again, there's a little bit eye on this side. Oh, hopefully you can see. There's a cool little bit eye on this side as well. And while we're in close, let's have a look at that hand. There we go. Hopefully you can see that well. But you can see it's the teeth and top and bottom there, and then the tongue poking out. It looks really cool. Okay, so this basically wraps up the review, well, more than a review, box opening of Yuji Itadori. Overall, I feel like he's a really cool figure. He's the first non-Dragon Ball figure I've bought. And yeah, I'm looking forward to getting more from the series. Next month we're going to be getting Gojo, be cool, and then hopefully we'll get the rest of the first year students as retail releases. They haven't announced any more figures in the line yet, and there's a chance, I guess high chance, that we might get some more as a premium Bandai releases. One good thing about that is they generally come with more accessories, so that would be pretty cool to see if that does happen. But yeah, overall, detailing on him I think is really cool. I guess no real cons for me on this figure, except for some of the joints, like on the ankle down here you can see the metal from the ball joint, which is a bit of a shame. It does kind of distract and take you out of the immersion a little bit. But the detailing on the faces, hands, and the cool fist effects I think are really awesome. And yeah, it's a really great, simple retail figure pickup. So I definitely recommend if you're into the series and the figure arts line in general. So yeah, please do subscribe, like, and let me know in the comments below what you think of this figure so far, if you plan to get them. And yeah, also I'll be posting photos of this guy on Instagram over the next day or two. You can check out the link for that in the description below. Cool, thanks for watching.